You are still here, still waiting, still whispering the same prayer at night, still hoping that today might finally be the day everything changes. And the hardest part is not the waiting itself. The hardest part is the silence that comes with it. You asked Allah, you asked sincerely, you asked with tears, with humility, with hope, and yet nothing seems to move. That silence can feel personal, it can feel like distance, it can feel like being ignored, but what if that feeling is misleading you? What if the silence you are experiencing is not absence, but attention? What if Allah is not turning away, but holding back, carefully, intentionally, mercifully? You see, when humans delay, it is usually because of weakness. We delay because we forget. We delay because we are careless. We delay because we do not care enough, but Allah does not delay like humans do. When Allah delays, it is never random. It is never careless. It is never cruel. It is measured. It is purposeful. And most of the time, it is protective. There are moments in life when receiving what you ask for too early would actually harm you, not because the thing itself is bad, but because you are not ready for it yet. Read that again slowly. You might be praying for something good: marriage, success, healing, relief, recognition, stability. All of these are good things, but good things given at the wrong time can become a test heavier than you can carry. Allah sees the version of you that exists today, but He also sees the version of you that would exist if that door opened right now. You see the blessing, Allah sees the consequences. You see the relief, Allah sees the responsibility. You see the happiness, Allah sees how it might slowly pull your heart away from Him. And sometimes, out of mercy, He delays, not to deny you joy, but to protect your faith. Think about how many times in your life you desperately wanted something. At the time, it felt like everything depended on it. You thought, if I don't get this, I won't survive. But later, you looked back and realized if that prayer had been answered exactly when you wanted it, your life would have collapsed in ways you could not imagine back then. That relationship you begged for, that opportunity you chased, that door that stayed closed no matter how hard you knocked. At the time, it felt like rejection. Later, it revealed itself as rescue. Allah's protection often looks like disappointment at first, because protection does not always feel gentle. Sometimes it feels like loss. Sometimes it feels like delay. Sometimes it feels like being left behind while others move forward, and that comparison, watching others receive what you are still waiting for, can hurt deeply. You see people around you getting married while you are still alone. You see others succeeding while you feel stuck. You see doors opening for them while yours remain closed, and slowly a dangerous thought begins to form. Why them and not me? But comparison is a trap, because you are not living their life, and they are not carrying your tests. Allah does not measure His love by speed. He measures it by suitability. Some people receive things early because that early timing is part of their test. Others receive things late because patience is part of their purification. Delay is not a sign of rejection. Delay is often a sign that Allah is working on you, not just your request. Sometimes Allah delays the answer because the real work is not external, it is internal. He is strengthening your patience. He is refining your intentions. He is detaching your heart from unhealthy dependence on outcomes. He is teaching you to trust Him even when you do not understand Him, because a heart that only trusts Allah when life is easy is not fully anchored yet. Real faith is built in the waiting. Real surrender is learned in the silence. Real closeness is formed when you choose Allah, even when you feel unanswered. And here is something most people do not realize. If Allah answered every prayer immediately, you would never grow. You would never reflect. You would never soften. You would never learn to rely on Him beyond results. Immediate answers can satisfy desire, but delayed answers shape character. Allah is not only interested in giving you what you want, He is interested in who you become in the process. Sometimes the delay is there because if the answer came now, you would stop making DU letter to B, FA macron letter to BE altogether. You would stop turning to Him with that same sincerity. You would stop speaking to Him late at night. And Allah loves those moments when you come to Him broken, honest, dependent, not because He needs your prayers, but because you need that connection. There are prayers Allah answers quickly, and there are prayers Allah keeps for later, and there are prayers Allah replaces with something better. But there is no prayer that is wasted. Every sincere doer either brings what you asked for, removes a harm you did not see, or is saved for you as reward beyond this life. The problem is, we are often too focused on now to appreciate later. We want relief immediately. Allah wants your safety eternally. We want comfort. Allah wants your heart intact. We want ease. Allah wants you protected from harm you cannot yet recognize. And sometimes the very thing you are begging for would pull you away from prayer once you receive it. So Allah delays not to punish, but to preserve. There are moments when Allah delays because He is aligning things you cannot see. People must move, circumstances must shift, hearts must change, paths must cross at the right moment. You are looking at your life from a single point in time. Allah is looking at it as a complete story. You see a pause. Allah sees preparation. You see waiting. Allah sees timing, and timing matters, because what arrives at the wrong time can ruin you, even if it was meant for you eventually. That is why Allah's timing is never rushed, never careless, never late. It arrives exactly when it is safe for your soul. And here is a truth that may be uncomfortable, but necessary. Sometimes Allah delays because you are asking for the outcome, but ignoring the responsibility that comes with it. You ask for success, but are you ready for the pressure, the accountability, the changes it will bring? You ask for marriage, but are you emotionally and spiritually prepared for the sacrifices it demands? You ask for wealth, but is your heart strong enough to remain grateful and humble? Allah does not just give gifts. He gives tests disguised as gifts, and if the test would crush you at this stage, He delays it until you are stronger. That delay is mercy, and even when the waiting feels unbearable, Allah is closer than you think. Every tear you shed is seen. Every whispered prayer is heard. Every silent hope is recorded. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not ignored. You are being guided through a process that is shaping you for what comes next. And sometimes the delay itself is the answer, because through waiting you are learning to trust Allah without conditions. You are learning to rely on Him even when nothing changes. You are learning to worship Him for who He is, not just for what He gives. That level of faith is rare, and Allah honors it deeply. So if you are waiting today, if your heart feels tired, if your prayers feel heavy, know this: you are not being ignored. You are being protected, and when the answer finally comes, you will realize why it had to take this long, why you had to grow first, why the door stayed closed until the right version of you arrived. Until then, keep praying, keep trusting, keep walking forward even slowly, because Allah's delay is never denial, it is precision. It is mercy, it is love, working quietly behind the scenes, and one day you will look back at this waiting period and understand. Not with regret, but with gratitude.